government begins tracing and recovering of cattle grazing routes nationwide. Despite the public outcry against cattle grazing routes and calls for modern ranching, the government has begun the process of tracing and reclaiming cattle grazing routes in the country. The Acting Director, Animal Husbandry Department, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, just one person, all right, Winnie Lai Solaring, confirmed this, arguing that while cattle ranching had been one of the major options canvassed for herders, not every pastoralist would be able to afford ranching at the moment. In an interview with Punch, she said, there are some stock routes that we have across the country, and in the past, we had monuments along these stock routes, particularly the primary stock routes. And in the course of farming our other human activities along those stock routes, the monuments were altered, but we know where they are, so we are saying that some of them can be retraced. And this is particularly for areas that are not infringed upon as of now. The pastoralists know the routes, and some of these routes you will see the pieces of monuments along them. Lai Solarin added, so for those that are not infringed upon and are not in conflict zones, we will go ahead to retrace and guide the pastoralists along with them. We didn't get to where we are today in one day, so we cannot expect that every pastoralist should suddenly start ranching now. Some will still have to move, but let's keep the movement as safe as possible in areas that are not conflict zones. That is what I'm saying. We are not going to retrace stock routes where there are infrastructures that are for the public good. Another official at the Federal Ministry, familiar with the development, stated that the government was not happy with the killings associated with the clashes between herders and farmers. The official, who requested not to be named for lack of authorization, explained that the stock routes were in 3 classes. The source said, we need to create safe places that are easy for them, herders, to graze their cattle, so they won't need to travel on roads. We have primary and secondary stock routes, and in some cases we have tertiary stock routes. I think what we need to find out is that from the tone of what has been said so far, it makes it seem like as if the herders are the victims here. Do not get me wrong. I'm not saying they should not be provided with alternatives on modern ranching, but again, don't use words like, oh, for them to feel safer, or for them to create safe places that are easy for them, as if they're the ones who have been suffering this whole time. That's just what I want to point out. While providing further information on the 3 classes of routes, the official said the primary stock routes are the major ones that run in a north to south direction from the Sahel to the coastal market, and then some major routes run interstate from the north, while others run intrastate. The Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Sabo Nanono, had announced on Thursday that the Federal Capital Territory and 22 states had registered for the National Livestock Transformation Plan as part of measures to establish grazing reserves in their domains. He also announced that 7 of these states had earmarked 400,000 hectares of land for the initiative, as the establishment of grazing reserves were currently ongoing in Nasarawa, Borno, Niger, Kaduna, and some states. 22 states and the FCT have registered with the NLTP office, out of which 10 states have created their teams and the federal office has trained. Nanono had stated. Honestly, let's just even go straight to the comment section. Someone says, these people's hypocrisy stinks to high heavens. Let's digest the whole thing. NDA is cited in Kaduna. Navy University is to be cited in Kano. Air Force University is cited in Bauchi. Army University is in Borno. Transport University. Okay, what's the point of this? Okay. Someone says, I see that the country is not ready for peace, rather doing things that would bring more war. Nigeria on my mind towards and after 2023, only God can save us. Let us watch and pray. Okay. Animal rearing is another form of economic activity. Therefore, economic care has to be given to it in order to reduce certain social vices in our great nation, Nigeria. So lack of good care to them will cause most of it, if not all, the problems we're facing nationwide. I think, first of all, for Nigerians to feel safe, it's just that they need to be intentional about apprehending the criminals that have done the most towards these farmers, and compensation has not been given to them. I mean, if anything, it has to be balanced. Okay, as much as, okay, fine. What the North did is obviously, well, not the North, but what the herders have done, who are from the North, is not justified, and you're making alternatives for them for ranching. Fine, but what of the compensation that the farmers deserve? Because again, this is their livelihood that is just gone. That's what I have to say. Somebody here says, if Buhari took time to deal with insecurity and bad governance, the way he's caring for the cows, we would not be in a death-trapped country, fragmented at every corner. Someone says, so-called available routes for cattle grazing were once bare. The same people allocated them to interested parties. Now they want cattle to graze on it. Ah, okay. People have now expanded. Children are now adults willing to develop their family land, even if it's fencing alone. Economic hardship has set in. People have moved to subsistent farming. Okay, don't know what that is. Cows can no longer find available spaces to graze. Well, this roots thing, I don't think it's necessary. Again, why can't, if it's a business, okay, it's a private business, okay, if you want to graze, please go buy your own land and do it there. And if you have any organization, for example, like Magban or anything, just follow the rules that are given to you, and it's really not that deep. Someone says there is no such law in southern Nigeria except Oyo State that something is close to that. Any other thing will be tantamount to illegality and will be challenged in the law court. You can't build something on nothing. Oh, all right. Somebody here says government of cattles for cattles and by cattles. IPOB wanted Buhari in power because they know he will make Nigeria the cattle republic. For the removal of Biafra from world map. Today it is manifest help. Okay, cool. Someone says wonders should never end cow republic. I mean, to be honest, this UAR thing that they tried to introduce would have not been best appropriate, to be honest. I mean, let's come on now. More like cow republic is more of an appropriate name. It encapsulates the core values of the nation at large. That's just what it is. So yeah, do you guys believe in these roots? Because apparently these roots were in place even when Nigeria was at its early stages of inception. Do you think that these things make sense? I mean, honestly, at this point, we have to just look at what the government is doing, hold them accountable, and of course, the way that they're putting in effort to take care of the herders, they should do the same for the farmers as well. But what I think, do not forget to like and subscribe.